Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host, Ahmad Nawaz. Now, what you just saw was no less than a miracle itself. I think this is what makes legends. All of these peaks that you saw, all of the records you just got to see as well, these are something in reality. And you know, from some people, we call it sky's the limit. But for these guys, I think they've gone through that limit already. Sky is no longer the limit for them, and they're aiming higher and higher with every second that's passing as well. Because we all know that there's a human ability and there's a human end to ourselves as well. But for these guys, they don't know any limits at all. They are the true legends in this world, and they're going to be remembered after this as well. We're going to be talking to them as well. We're going to give you these special people. Of course, we're talking about that this is the month of Pakistan, and it couldn't get any special than this, because I've got three legends with me. One of them that you see on your screens is aiming for something, or has aimed for something, which I'd never thought a human could possibly endure as well. Is he a cyborg? Are they humans? Do they have some alien abilities? We're going to ask them what the secrets are, and we're going to know. I have with me, time now to introduce all three of these very fine, very legendary legends in the making. First of all, on my right-hand side, I've got Mr. Stefan. Hello, good evening, how are you? How are you?
Thank you.
You're looking strong, man. You look like you do a lot of work. Yeah, and we have the very elegant, she's very graceful, but she's tough at heart as well. Miss Klara. Klara, how are you? Good evening.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm very well. It's great to have you in well. And then, as I mentioned, one of these guys, are you human, sir? I'm going to ask this question later on. His name is Nims, and he is aimed for that record we were talking about. Nims, how are you? Good evening.
Very good, thank you.
It's great having you. All right, I'm going to ask for you, because I said this, I've heard people saying this, sky's the limit, right? And we often look up to these mountains and we're like, my gosh, this is high. But for you guys, height isn't any fear factor anymore, because it becomes an adrenaline rush, because for some people like you guys, climbing these mountains is actually life itself. How does it feel?
When I climb different mountains, especially now K2, I feel very challenged, and I feel very free to do these things that I love, really love. And of course, when we do this, we have a big emotion, big adrenaline. We don't feel some pain or
No normal things.
Yeah, it's no normal things, and this is different imagination, maybe. I don't know how to explain.
Right, definitely. It's hard to explain. You could only feel that once you're top of that. I heard growing up a story about Wonder Woman. Are you that? Are you Wonder Woman?
I'm a superwoman.
So how, you know, I'm going to stay with the same. For us, it becomes pretty hard to even think about it. But you guys actually dare to achieve that feat. So where does all that energy come from?
Energy. I think I would have to go back to my parents for that one. But I think you go through life and you realize there are moments where you just need to step out a bit out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, there is a little more than what I'm already doing. Let's see how that can go. And for me, it's really important to do those steps forward and forward and forward, and try to push a bit forward always and see how far it can get me.
So you haven't found your limits as of yet?
I hope not.
Never
Let's
it is.
see.
Right, yeah. Nims, the world record, it is a world record now. I'm going to call it that. Because like I said before the show, I know people who've been aiming for not 7, but for 3 peaks in 3 years. If you ask me, I'd probably think, okay, half 1 year, then I'll do the other half the other year and try that. That's how we normal human beings are. But do you have some mechanical devices in you, or is it just human blood pumping through your veins?
Well, I'm absolutely normal, you know, so yeah, nothing different, I guess.
What does it feel like once you're at the top? I've asked this from so many mountaineers, and all of them have different stories. What is your story of this?
So I think when you first started climbing, I think the biggest joy or happiness would be like, you know, when you are almost like 5 meters away from the summit. You know, then you know that definitely you're gonna make it. But at that initial stage of your mountaineering, I think the biggest concern would be like, that's the happiest moment. You get to the summit, but you worry about getting down.
That's another
yeah.
You forget that once you're at the top.
Yeah, but I think for now, when I'm at the summit, I just enjoy the view. I take my times, at least, couple of hours, chill, because, we work so hard to be at that point. So, yeah, just enjoy the view.
You have good cameras and batteries to take good selfies once you're at the top.
Yeah, selfie always counts.
Selfie
Yeah.
but Stefan, that's the real thing. Getting up there is just one part of it. Getting down is the other one.
Yes, different feelings we feel because when go up we are very focused. I explain for me, of course. I'm very focused, very fast, don't feel nothing. When I summited, usually I stay maybe 45 minutes on the top and make very good videos and pictures.
And just love the mountain.
Yes, I love this moment. But every my peaks in connection with my worry about when I go down.
इस्लामाबाद अपने लेवल पे उनको भी मैंने कहा हुआ है इस्लामाबाद की जो एमएनएस तीनों उनसे भी बात हुई है उनकी जो टीम है वो हमारी जो प्रेसिडेंट है वो भी बैठे हुए भी हैं हाँ फरीद साहब आ गए हैं तो फरीद साहब इसको लुक आफ्टर कर रहे हैं और ये इंशाल्लाह इन्होंने सारा से मेरे अभी कोई आधा घंटा पहले प्रोग्राम डिस्कस हो चुका है ये कहाँ मर्ज करेंगे तो इंशाल्लाह एक हमने मैसेज एक्चुअली देना है एक यूनिटी का एक स्ट्रॉन्ग एक रिएक्शन का जो इंशाल्लाह ताला कल आप देखेंगे इंशाल्लाह जो आवाम निकलेगी रिस्पॉन्ड करेंगे देखिए जी हमने जनरली कल हम सारे कश्मीर के झंडे इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं और मैंने जो मीटिंग की उसमें मैंने रिगार्डलेस जो मैं डिफरेंट जगह पे गया कल से तो उसमें हमने सबको इनवाइट किया है लेकिन आप अगर कहें कि बाज़ाब्ता हमने उनको कहा हो वो हमने उनको नहीं कहा लेकिन इंशाल्लाह ये सब के लिए ये कॉज है और ये वो इतना बड़ा कॉज है कि जो हर पाकिस्तानी का है वो हमसे कम पाकिस्तानी नहीं है उनको भी ज़ाहिर है कि वो चाहते हैं कि इसको कंट्रीब्यूट किया जाए तो इंशाल्लाह बल्कि अभी हो सकता है कि फिर ये अच्छा है हम उसको मज़ीद इनको इन्वॉल्व करें
What's next?
Dangerous, the most dangerous.
But as you can see, we're having a good time too, right? It's not just about struggling. Like that's not why we do it.
How do you manage to hang on with one hand and also do a thumbs up while taking a picture? That's got to be dangerous. But tell me the team part of it. Now I understand the stress, physical and emotional, that a single climber goes through. But when you become a team, it becomes something more special.
Yeah, I think for me anyway, the main reason why Project Possible has been successful so far is a teamwork, and also the team it just didn't came from anywhere. I have been kind of selecting the guys that I have climbed in the past, and of course the final team for Project Possible is an elite team. And I think when you climb, with this team, I guess, of course, there will be always some hurdles. But I think when you share the certain values at the same bond, you always overcome through the problems and you make things happen. So yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's fun. It's fun when you've got more people around.
Yeah.
Just like a pack that sticks together. And of course, that's why you call it Project Possible, I guess, as well. Physical strains are always there. We've heard so many people. Unfortunately getting injured in the middle of the way. Sometimes it distorts you when you realize, okay, that you can't continue, you got to go back, go through rehabilitation as well, and all that processes. What is it on the mind?
For me, the mind is much more important than the physical part, because the physical, I think when we all arrive to the mountain, we are all ready, we are all fit. We've all done our training, you've done your work before, but once you get to the mountain, it's about still finding the motivation when things don't go that well, to still make the strength and have the inner strength to push up and go for it.
But coming back from that injury, Stefan, has got to be the most important part, because as a human being, you might go into depression because this is something you love to do. And if you manage to hang on to yourself, you need to make a strong comeback.
Yes, of course. But like Klara says, mental power is the most important in the mountain. I feel very good physically, and I'm very strong, very fast. But for example, this year we have two summit push to the summit, and this second summit push we start 3 days after we come back from first summit push, and our bodies,
No rest at all.
yes, they are strong, okay, but mentally we are
Tired and weak,
yes,
yes.
tired, angry. I was really
Angry.
yeah, about this, and I have I need more time to be calm, to rest, because it's we need our power.
And you have to keep Stefan calm. You don't want to make him to
No, you don't want to have him
yeah,
angry,
you don't
do
want him to turn into a Hulk when he goes at the top, and then it's hard coming down as
No,
well.
but I think that's where the teamwork comes in,
Comes in.
right? Because that's what
Yeah.
you were talking about.
Yeah.
Like we were pretty down, as he was saying, and then those superhuman beings appeared, and they did the change.
They change the mood.
And that was absolutely critical. I think like without that, without the Project Possible team coming in and stepping in, I think we were all back with the rest of the teams who were turning around and saying, okay, this year the mountain is just not here for us.
We got to do it. That's why you call it Project Possible. That's what I like. It's Project
Yeah, that's
Possible.
good.
Yes,
Yeah.
we may say that Nims with his Sherpas give us second chance, and we take this our second chance and submit it, and now we are happy, always happy.
You become the Titan then, yes? It's a clash of the Titan and you become one. But Nims, I want to ask this because there are so many young people who want to take this up as a career. What has to be the first step? Because we have to understand this is not a very easy thing to manage, not just because of the physical strain, it's an expensive thing as well. So what's got to be that first step for these youngsters?
I think for the younger generation, I think the first step is, you have to find if you really like it or not. Does it come from here and here?
Yeah.
If it comes from here and here, then you have to start gaining the experience to see if your body is okay at 7,000 meters. Then gain the experience for 8,000 meters, and if it's good, then that's 8,000 above is a death zone. So if you kind of tick all those parameters that you are keen, your body can give you that ability, and then you have that interest and you have the experience, fly through it. But that rule kind of applies in any field, not really on mountaineering. If you kind of basically what I'm saying is do what your heart says, follow your heart, and but also when you say that you're going to do it, give 100%, and then
Not less than that. Won't work. Yeah.
It wouldn't.
Definitely, it won't work. So throughout this journey, I have to ask you guys this: your favorite expedition so far? Why?
Favorite was Annapurna in Nepal, purely because that's where I started Project Possible. It was really tough, but Annapurna is like K2. It has got almost the same fatality rate and known as one of the most dangerous mountain to climb. But we made it. So in terms of phase 1, Annapurna. But in Pakistan, I think K2 was interesting for us.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like you use the word interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting because when I came into the base camp, it was very different environment to what I have been on the rest of the mountains. Almost 90% of people had packed up and they have returned, and we came in and I just checked the video, and you can see like big avalanche risks. I speak with the friends who have been fixing, and they said, Nims, these are the conditions, it's very risky to life, and etc., etc. So there was so much negative energy, and just to fight through, and you try to stay positive, and of course I think this was the first time ever in my life where I did doubt my ability. So but it was interesting.
But that's where Project Possible came in, and you guys actually achieved that. Klara, what about you? What's your favorite expedition so far, and why?
I have to say it has to be K2. It's the last one, and especially because it was my third attempt already, and they say third time lucky usually, right?
Hat trick.
So there we go.
Right. Stefan.
For me also K2 because first time I have second push and normally I was very good condition, strong, fast, but now it was a challenge for my mental power, second push, and I have many rotation before this because
too many.
Yes, yeah, I reach camp two times before nobody do this, but I did, and one day after this was first second push. 3 times after this I had second push. Too much. Yeah.
So in the second one, it was not Stefan, it was the angry Stefan who went up. He's the one who went up.
Yeah.
But, so I understand there's another factor to you, and that's speed as well. While some mountaineers like it easy, they like to camp, then start, then camp, then start. Why is speed necessary for you?
For me, it's necessary because I think on the mountain speed is very. Speed means safety. If you speed, you have more chance to be alive when come down. Only me and Klara go down together, of course, after summit push, without stop, without nothing.
In one go?
Yeah. And we're only me and Klara.
So speed, the need for speed is there?
It's not the need. It's if you're lucky and you feel strong enough, then you can afford to have the speed. Then it's a plus. It's a benefit.
So is there a time that we understand, Nims, that after one summit when you've achieved it, is there a physical time that you need to spend before you start the next one? Is it a couple of days? Or is it for you guys no time at all?
Not really, to be honest. I've been jumping from one summit to base camp directly and just going into another base camp and just one summit push. So I think it all depends upon individual and how their body reacts, which goes back into my first point. It's all about knowing your body.
And you can actually find it out in your body that you have that necessity to push yourself, and you can do that. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, for me, I can do it. Yes.
And you drag these guys with you as well.
Not really. They climb on their own. We're completely different parts. I was leading the fixing team. These guys went and they climb on their own. So it's completely different.
So are there types of climbers as well? I just found out one is angry. And
angry type.
Angry and quick. He's quick. But are there types of mountaineers as well? Like we have types of different.
You do. You mean it's you have the mix of people. That's the fun part of it on every expedition. You get so many different individuals that at some point they just. And usually they don't like to cooperate much. This is my observation at least.
Everybody's frustrated.
No, but they're quite like focused, and they each go for their own thing. And then yet you put them together as a one bunch, and at some point they have to cooperate, no matter what. They have to sort of adjust a bit to the rest of the team, and that's kind of fun. It creates interesting situations. Let's
So it
say.
becomes the Avengers Justice League sort of thing. Everybody has their own superpowers, but they have one goal, and that is to reach the mountain.
That's a nice way.
What about the hospitality? Have you been able to taste the hospitality, food, culture of Pakistan?
I was really surprised. This is my first time in Pakistan, and I was really surprised. Very friendly people, civilized country. I have different imagine from these things that I read before and that I saw in television and everybody. Now I am really nice surprised from Pakistan. I like this country.
Oh, so he likes it. What about you, Klara? You like the hospitality here?
I've already encountered it twice, and third time was even better. I think every time I come back, you feel more at home.
And you look traditional as well. This looks
And
very,
I
very
love the fashion here, my man. I did my
It's
bit
my
of shopping.
choice.
Oh, my choice. You got to give it to Stefan. No, no, definitely.
She was on the shop with me, like traditional family, but we are not family.
And women, like they are confused in shopping, you help them out.
Yeah.
Otherwise it would have been 2 more hours.
No more angry Stefan.
What about you?
Yeah, exactly, sir, Peter. I agree with both of them. Again, like Stefan said, the first kind of, my view was a bit different. But when I got here, it kind of changed everything. So, of course, I really look forward to get back here again and do some more pics. And yeah.
And you're definitely going to continue this. And
Of
tell me about
course.
Project Possible as well. What's the next phase of it now? What do you think?
So, Project Possible, okay, so basically there are 14 mountains in the world above 1,000 meters.
Yes.
The fastest someone has climbed all those peaks is nearly 80 years. And I'm trying to do that.
Nearly
in
how many?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do that in 7 months. That is Project Possible.
Yeah.
So far, I have climbed 11 1,000 meter peaks. Now I have got only 3, which is Manaslu, Sisapangma, and Soyu.
So much time,
And I got
7
4
months,
months to do.
8 years. Go to the Bahamas, take a break, come back, do it again. But that's what makes you guys special. You're no less than legends. I am as humbled as I can be. It's an honor having you guys. And I think you're an inspiration to all of us out there. And you're the ones who make us proud to be humans at the end of the day. We want to be that strong like you guys are. Thank you very much for being on the show. We've just got a little tradition when we sign off, when we take a break. We're going to have all 3 of you say Pakistan Zindabad. You know what that means? It means long live, because we have our Independence Day as well. So you're going to look at that camera over there and you're going to say 1, 2, 3, Pakistan Zindabad, right? 1, 2, 3. Pakistan Zindabad. Right. Thank you so much, Nims, Klara and Stefan. It's been an honor. We're going to go towards a very short break, but when we come back, we'll have more surprises lined up for you. Stay tuned to Sports Extra. Welcome back after the break to Sports Extra. We talked to the legends before the break. Now we've got 3 of them more. That was a surprise for you. We have another pack of legends who have been doing the impossible. Not many people dream of achieving the skies, but they've been there, they've done that, and they do that on a regular basis. That's what defines them. That's what makes them superhumans, I want to call them, because they are. On my right-hand side, I've been joined now with these 3 elite as well. First of all, we've got Mr. Mingma. Mingma, hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
I'm good.
You look very, very strong, man. How are you? You feeling strong?
Yeah, of course.
And we have the very, very pretty, the very graceful. She is amazing, but she is equally strong as well. Miss Anja. Anja, how are you? Good evening.
I'm very well, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. And we've got another legend, and that is Mr. Dawa, who is no less than a lion himself. Dawa, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm very good.
Right.
Thank you.
Mingma, I'm going to ask you first. A lot of people try to climb mountains. A lot of them do as well. But when was the first time when you started?
I submitted 2010. That was Everest. Yeah, that time I'm 19 old. Years.
9 years back.
Yeah.
Right. 9 years back was your first summit.
Yeah.
Right. Anja, let's talk about this as something you love, because a lot of people have hobbies. I might as well do arts and crafts sitting back home than look at a mountain. But you're doing something which is not easy on the mind, not easy on the body, equally difficult every time you do it. You can't say that you're an expert now, so it's going to be easy. How do you take all of this?
Well, for me, it is always exciting because it is a challenge that does comprise of so many different things. It is, as you just said, the mental and physical part, but it's also nature that you're confronted with that you can't control. You always have to adapt to it and make the most of it. And so for me, this actually adds to the experience and makes it so fulfilling, and that's why I'm passionate about it.
And that's the passion is what drives you there.
Yeah.
Right. You guys do this on regular basis because you assist these people all the time. I'm going to ask you first of all, what is the literal meaning of Sherpa, and how is this as a job as well?
Yeah, the Sherpa is our caste. We are living in the mountain area, in the
Right.
Himalayan area. So we are the Sherpa people normally climbing mountain because we are born in the Himalaya area.
You live in the mountains.
Yeah, we're living in the mountains. So this is our job.
This is your daily life, I must say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then again, even if it is your daily life, it's not easy doing that because mountain is your friend, but it's dangerous as well.
Yeah, this we want to save our mountain because we born there. So I want to save this my village and my mountain. Yeah.
Yeah. So you own these mountains as
Yeah.
well. Right. So Anja, what's the latest of you can say records that you've been able to achieve? What has been the latest summit up to now?
It's been K2, and for me it has been a record indeed because for me it was the highest altitude I've managed to climb without bottled oxygen, and also I've managed to become the first German woman to climb it. So I was surprised how few women are out there, and yeah, it's been a great achievement for me.
When we talk about Germans, I know this because my favorite football team in the world is Germany. But there is something about Germans. You guys are more tougher than the rest of the world. So there's got to be something to that advantage.
I'm not too sure about that because there's so many strong climbers from all different countries around the world. I mean, for me personally, as said, like I was surprised that it's been 25 years since a German climbed K2, and I mean the Sherpas do that like on an annual basis. Like Mingma has been up there.
They're like, oh, I'm bored. Let's go hang out in Summit K2. So they do it on regular basis. But for you guys, it's got to be planning, checking the weather. It's a research part of it as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like you want to come there prepared. You want to know what the challenge comprises of, and like whether you are ready to tackle that, or whether it's a too big mission to achieve. So yeah, for me it's been very important to do some research and
right. Mingma, what has, because you, like Dawa mentioned as well, you guys do this regularly because you guys were born in the mountains as well. You live in those areas. What is the most difficult journey or climb you have done up till now?
One of the difficult is for me is K2. It's technically and mentally is one of the most difficult mountain is K2 for me until now.
Is that why so many people want to try it, because it's very difficult? That's why so many people around the world want to do K2.
Actually, not many people compare the other mountain, but it's world second highest. In Pakistan is highest. That's why people like to climb one of the big mountain. That's why every year more and more.
So Dawa, you've been through all of these mountains as well. What's different about K2?
Yeah, this K2 is one of the technical mountain also, and one of very difficult weather because sometimes weather's gonna be like 1 month we cannot see K2. When I was in front of the K2, this is my first time. It's 2012 for K2, myself climbing and with my clients. But I was there 40 days. I never see K2 from the base camp to top
because of the weather.
But when I reached the summit, weather's so clear, and I'm so happy. I was the top of the second highest peak. Yeah, I'm really happy for this. And this K2 is like this is like I heard K2 is God, but it's I think Muslim God. Yeah, if she happy, she can show the pace. Otherwise, never so.
Never so.
Yeah.
But that's got to be a special feeling.
Yeah.
I've been asking this to a lot of climbers. I know it's hard to explain. You can only feel that. But like you mentioned as well, this was your highest expedition. Once you got to the top, what was that feeling?
It's incredible because you're so relieved that you've actually made it all the way up. And like, I mean, just thinking about the moment you stand in base camp for the first time and you look up there and it's like a couple of kilometers high up in elevation from where you stand, and all of a sudden, step by step, you've made it there. It's just mind-blowing.
But these guys mentioned as well, and I'm sure before that you've done all kinds of mountains as well. Did you feel the same thing, that it's technically very difficult to get to K2's summit?
It is more technical than, for example, Everest, which I climbed from the north side. However, the commercialization, I think, the putting up of fixed ropes takes away a lot of the technical challenge. So, of course, those who put up the fixed ropes, they have to tackle that challenge. But like the majority of climbers, 90% of the climbers, they benefit from it. And so it is still technical, but it's less than it would be without those.
And before the break, when we were talking to Stefan, Klara, and of course Nims as well, we heard a very interesting part which most of people don't realize, that getting to the top is just one part of it. Getting down is probably equally important and hard.
Absolutely, and actually most people die on, like, from those people who die, most die on the descent because you lose focus, you are exhausted, you've been already through that struggle of getting up there. And so when I was going down, I was thinking all the time, like, I don't want to be dead on K2. I want to make it, so keep the focus up.
And it's your job to make sure they're alive when they get down.
Yeah.
And you guys have to probably look after all of these little things which they don't know about. That is the local terrain, the technicality of the mountain, the weather, and making sure that they get up and get down in the same manner. No deformation. How hard is that?
Actually, some clients is really honest and they share the problem, but some clients is
don't share the problem.
They like to go only summit, focus on summit because of they expend money and time. That's why they don't share problem easily, and that time difficult to judgment.
And there was a thing called, when I was growing up, there was a program called Tough Jobs. Sherpa has to be one of the toughest jobs in the world.
Yeah, this is the Sherpa people living in the mountains. So Sherpa is always working in the mountains. So Sherpa is really hero in for mountain. We can say this, but this is our job, and this is our responsibility to the save for clients and save for mountain.
So you take it as a religious duty, not just to help them climb, but to get them back safely as well. This is the real duty.
Yeah, this is very important because climb people, people only thinking for I will be summit. This just people, everything's used for the climbing energy, but come down, finish energy. Many people die when they descend. Yeah, many history.
Yeah, because you're so happy you just want to jump off that mountain. But Anja, where did this journey start for you? You must be a little girl thinking about a career, growing up. What was the feeling? Where did you finally figure out, okay, this is what I want to do?
Actually, it didn't start too long ago. When I was a little girl, for me K2 was a brand for inline skates. I didn't know about the mountain at all. I started climbing in 2015 when I was in Argentina on Aconcagua, and I got really inspired by the people I was climbing with, and so that took me to the next mountain. And again, like, on every expedition there's people telling you about all those other things you would need to experience. And at some point I was climbing Everest, and that Sherpa whose brother I was climbing with, he kept on calling me and he was like, you should come and join us on K2. I was like, no, it's too dangerous, like I'm not good enough. And at some point I was like, actually, I think I can do it. And so that's how I thought, okay, I'll make this a reality, and it happened.
And you figured out that you have that power to do that.
Yeah.
That's most important as well.
Absolutely.
But in your terms, you've done so many mountains as well. K2 has got to be the highlights of your career as a mountaineer as well. But what apart from K2 did you feel was most challenging for you?
Which mountain was
Yeah.
most? Yeah. For me, actually, I went to Broad Peak just before I went to K2 for acclimatization purposes because it's safer than K2, and we tried to go up there as quickly as possible, so we will have a lot of time for K2. So I wasn't well acclimatized, and the summit day they were still fixing the ropes, so we had a lot of breaks and a long summit night. And when I was on the top of Broad Peak, I was really exhausted. Actually, for me, that was a lot harder than climbing K2, where I was well acclimatized and well prepared. So a simple mountain with poor preparation or short time can be a lot harder than a difficult mountain with really good preparation.
Right. What is the time limit for K2, if you want to call it? If the weather's fine as well, everything is. What is the time in which you think one can summit K2 professionally?
Actually, if we summit before midday, it's really good. But 2014, we submitted 3 o'clock. All the depend on weather condition, wind condition. Then we decided.
But is there a safe time as well? Do you guys plan these hours? Like, for example, if you're thinking, okay, this much time going up, in this much time you have to be back no matter what.
Yeah, normally for K2 is from the campo to the summit is we keep time is like 10 to 12 hours. But sometimes the snow condition and different conditions take long time. But this time we have to look the weather. If weather is good, we can climb the whole day, no problem. We can come. If next night also have good weather, we can come back easily. But sometimes the weather is only in mountain. Morning is good, in the afternoon is coming like cloudy and more high winds. So that time we have to take care. But we have in base camp we have everything's weather focus and we have expedition leader. So we check the weather and we decide.
Right.
If could not reach like 10 to like morning 8, 9. If weather is good, we can say, okay, you have more chance 2 hour. Yeah.
And then you will just continue as well.
Yeah.
But the weather this time, Anja, we heard that it was a lot better than what it has been.
Yeah, we've been really lucky. We've been blessed with good weather. So there was hardly any wind. We had a clear sky, which makes for a bit of light even at night time. And yeah, when we were on the top of K2, we had a really good view. So yeah, we've just been lucky.
Yeah, you got to take some good pictures at the top as well because of that weather. But the weather does come into play. But I'm sure, Mingma, this changes. You can't be sure, oh wow, it's sunny, but in just a second it can change as well.
Yeah, sometimes wind and snow mountain is maybe 1 hour, especially K2. Pakistan weather is changing so fast.
Rapidly, every second. So you've got to be prepared with your equipment for every eventuality then. It's like you're carrying the whole house with you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's always a trade-off between like, do you want to have a heavy backpack that's going to slow you down? Or do you want to risk that you're not prepared for whatever comes?
So what do you choose?
Well, you always balance like every item I'll look at and I'm like, okay, do I need this? Maybe yes. Is it worth the weight? Okay.
But we heard Stefan likes speed, so I think he doesn't carry a backpack, does he? Because he likes speed so much as well. But there are climbers who want to do it very quickly. Dawa, they want to do it as quickly as they can. So you have to cut down their weight as well.
Yeah, some clients is strong, yeah, they can do quickly, but normally people cannot running in the mountain. So we have to look wider.
You have to look at that as well, but considering mountains and challenges throughout the world, K2 is just one part of Pakistan. Then you've got the Killer Mountain, Nanga Parbat, and so many other mountains as well. How do you see the terrains in Pakistan for climbers all over the world?
I think it's a really big playground, so I think there's something for everybody because you've got easy and accessible high mountains as well as technical and challenging high mountains as well as a rock climbing area. So I think it's a great place, and I think there'll be a lot more climbers coming in the future.
So Mingma, do you think Pakistan's mountains are equally challenging as throughout the world?
Yes, of course, yeah. Challenging, yeah, because mainly weather,
Many mountains like Nanga Parbat, like I mentioned, K2. K2 is just one of those, but there's so many other mountains.
Also, Nanga Parbat is also challenging mountain. Also
And-
G1, yeah.
Do you think about this as the same, that these terrains are very challenging? That's why so many climbers want to do these in this region, in the entire region, we must say.
Yeah, this is, for the professional climber look this for challenging, but for the commission expression, looking for summit rate. If this last year the K2 was like 64 people summit, and this year more people coming for K2 because everybody like who don't like to climbing second highest mountain in the world, who don't like to climb Everest, who don't like to visit in the US.
Yeah, and say I was at the top of the world.
Yeah, and actually many years before the K2 is not have many summit rate because of there are no fixing line. People's alpine style and many accident and people thinking the K2 is very danger. But even now we fix line from base camp to summit, K2 also not so danger. Can be climbing everyone.
So it's with facilities it becomes a little easier, not completely easy, but a little easier as well. Have you been able to go through the Pakistani culture and the cuisines and the hospitality as well? How do you see the people?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The cuisine, we've had a Pakistani cook and he's been doing an excellent job. So I've been really enjoying that. And we had liaison officers who helped us understand the culture and to explain to us why certain things are done in a certain way, how everything has evolved here culturally. And for me, it's been a very enriching cultural experience.
So I know Dawa knows the local language. Have you been able to learn the local language as well?
Not really, to be honest.
But definitely. But this is also important, not just to go around the world to these mountains, but also to look at the culture in every country as well.
Yeah, that is the very important. Yeah.
So how do you see Pakistani people? Do you think they're friendly enough?
Yeah, of course. In Sherpa language and local Balti language is, I think 40% is similar. We understand Balti language, they understand, Balti understand Sherpa language, yeah.
So you just feel like right at home. You think it's the same place?
Yeah, we are really funny in base camp because we can understand each other some language, so this is really good.
Communicate.
And also Pakistani people, local people is very friendly. And this is Pakistan is like my second home. This is my 14th time in Pakistan.
Wow.
So I'm really like Pakistan. Yeah, I like mountain because in Pakistan there's a lot of mountains. So that's why I like it. Yeah.
Generally becomes favorite as well.
Yeah.
But Anja, there are so many young girls out there who want to be the next Anja, who want to do all of that you've achieved. What message do you have for them, and what do you think is the very first step to start this?
I think the first step is to actually develop that self-belief that they can do it. Because there will be so many people who will say like, it's too tough, you can't do this, it's not for girls, or you don't yet have what it takes. They need to start with self-belief and make their dreams come true themselves.
And they can be Wonder Women, so all of them.
Yeah.
They have that power now.
They do.
Yeah. But Mingma, Anja and Dawa, thank you very much for being on the show. It's been an honor, and I truly think that all of you are legends. No matter if you're a Sherpa, if you're a professional climber, if it wasn't for the Sherpa, there would be no Mountaineers. If there was no Mountaineers, there would be no Sherpas. You guys are truly legends. I'm honored to have you on the show as well. But before we sign off, we're going to look at that camera and we're going to say Pakistan Zindabad on 1, 2, 3. That means long live Pakistan. So if you can just look at the camera, 1, 2, 3. Pakistan Zindabad. Right, thank you so much. We're going to leave it at that. You've heard these people, you've heard the legends themselves as well. And this is what makes them different. This is what makes them stand out and tell you that sky is definitely not the limit for them. And they're going to keep on challenging themselves and challenging all of those around them who said that they can't do it, but they've done it and they're living to tell the tale as well. This has been a very exclusive and special edition of Sports Extra. Until the next one, from me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.